Okay, fifth and final video for this morning of this Friday, Red October. Um, this country, and I think it's safe to say this country is not the country that we remember growing up. And I'm talking about all you guys out there that are my age, in your 40s through 60s. You know what I'm talking about. This country's just different. It's just not the same. I don't think it ever will be the same. I think we're going to be able to carry that flag of the Constitution, the Second Amendment, all that stuff that we knew growing up, respecting your neighbor, putting in your time, working hard, proud to be an American. Not the sissy state that we live in now, the nanny state, the rainbow, unicorn, snowflake. And I'm not talking about gays and lesbians. I'm just talking in general the sissiness of Americans now, this new generation that, as Clint Eastwood said, this generation's pussified. Everything offends them, you know. And don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about somebody being rude in general. I'm talking about the entitlement, the notion that you're owed something, that you don't have to work as hard as your dad did or your grandparents. You shouldn't have to work 30 years at a job and put it in retirement. You shouldn't have to break your back to know what making ends meet really means, right? You shouldn't have to work 2 jobs, sometimes 3, just to pay the rent, right? You shouldn't have to go through hard times to enjoy this life. You should be able to work a couple hours during the week when you feel like it, not have to make a commitment to an employer, and then just, you know, take the day off and go down to a local festival and parade and protest and all kind of fun stuff, right? And, you know, growing up and being a man, it's hard work. And, you know, your definition of being a man may differ from mine. But mine is growing up and not living at home with your parents. Paying your own bills. Not having your mama or daddy pay your car note and pay your cell phone and pay your insurance. And, you know, here's $20 here and there for lunch. It's you saying, I got a paycheck. How am I going to make this paycheck work? Pay my bills and balance things out. How am I going to be able to do these things and live a lifestyle that I'd like to live or that I want to live versus the lifestyle that I have to live and make ends meet? How am I going to do that on this income? To me, that's figuring out. That's being an adult. That's manning up and doing what you need to do and not rely on mommy and daddy. You know, this country was built from immigrants, right? Everybody's come from all over to make this country a great place, but it's not the same mindset of immigrants of today. You know, it's just like me versus my grandpa's generation. That generation's almost gone. Those people that grew up working hard, I mean, working bare knuckles or hard as rock. They're still tough as nails. They're getting older. Their skin is very thin. They're on several medications, but they're tough. They're just a tough generation that by the time I came around, I didn't have to work as hard. I didn't have to put as much time in. But I still work. You know, when I was able to work at age 15, I've always had a job. I've never once just said, you know, I'm going to take off a couple of months, maybe a year or two, go to school, you know, just think about my future. No, there was no time to think. You got your ass up out of bed, and you go to work and make a paycheck, and you smile the best you can, make the best of it, and work hard. And work towards something better, that paid better. Not just complain and bitch that I want to work at McDonald's and make $15, $18 an hour like somebody that's put time in a career. It doesn't work like that. And that's where this country is falling apart, because you have mindsets of people native people here in America, not talking about Native Americans, just people that are born and raised here, Americans versus foreigners, that both have the same mindset now, that you just don't have to work as hard. It shouldn't be this hard. You shouldn't be able to, you shouldn't have to work 2 jobs to make ends meet. When a lot of our parents had to do that, they had to pick up odd jobs and pick up, cutting grass, help somebody move, maybe do some painting, do some roofing, do all kind of stuff where you just have to make ends meet. There was no excuses. There was no, I'm going to stay home and think about my future. You just kept working. I'm going to finish this up. I know I'm over 5 minutes, but I think that you just have to, let me say this. I think most of us have accepted, whether we want to admit it or not here on YouTube or to each other, that this country is no longer the country that we grew up. And one day, you and I, the people that have been carrying this flag of America and the concept of working hard and being a good, responsible, law-abiding citizen gun owner, that we're going to die one day. And unfortunately, that our mindset, our concept of the way we believe America should be is going to die with us. And it's going to be left to this new generation to figure it out. And it will change. It will change. We will not see the way of the gun or the way of American life in the Wild West and gun ownership. We will not see that carry forward. It'll be a different kind of a Second Amendment. We're a dying breed. Where the concept of what we know America as will change. And there's nothing you and I can do about it. We can continue to fight and protest and hopefully fight to carry those privileges, those rights to the next generation. And I'm not saying we shouldn't. I'm not saying we should stop the fight. I think we should still, but just know in the back of your mind, these days are going to change. Just like the land that you grew up on will change. Somebody will buy it. Somebody will buy your neighbor's property. They'll put condos or apartments or housing, and the land will never look the same. If you look around, like I said in my previous videos, look around at the land around you and you will see the world has changed. And there's really nothing you and I can do about it. We can sit here and bitch about it and talk about it and go out there and contact your local representative. That's all great. I'm not saying don't do it. You should. If it makes you feel better, if it makes you feel like, hey, I had a cause in this fight, I contributed my 2 cents, that is a great thing. I'm not saying it's not. But just know that at some point, your kids, the next generation, is going to have to carry that torch, that light. Because whatever you believe in today, that concept will definitely change tomorrow. And I say tomorrow, not necessarily in 24 hours. It'll change that for that next generation that's coming about. This will not be the America that we knew it and know it today. And the next several 10 years, 15 years, I think we'll see more changes in this country, to the way of our living, to our Second Amendment, and that goes with population. All these videos, I'm kind of breaking them down, but they all kind of center around the same concept, and that is just foreigners coming to the country, our generation, new mindset of not having to put the time in. The concept of guns are scary, they're bad for us. Why does anyone need a gun? Why do people commit crimes? People stopped committing crimes and it was a peaceful and world, and nobody bothered nobody robbed from nobody killed, then we probably wouldn't need guns. But that's not the world we live in. That's not the world we've lived in far back to the Bible days. There's always been wars and killings and fighting, and man has come up with ways to protect themselves. So it's the way of the gun, the way of life, I guess. So all right, guys, that's my last video. Hope you enjoyed them. Buy my series. Donate to me on Patreon. Just kidding. Have a good one. Red October out.